Alright, hello everyone. So, in the last 3 videos I've made, I've basically just been, making a tier list of every song in the Deltarune official soundtrack. I have covered chapters 1, 2, and 3, so the only chapter I still have to make a tier list for is chapter 4. And basically this whole tier list has been cumulative over all of Deltarune, so it's not just one chapter at a time. Like, I'm basically just putting it on the whole list, and I think that's the more effective way to do it personally. But basically, it's looking pretty vibrant. We only have 40 songs left. So far, we have covered 145 songs, I believe, and there are 160 or 125. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. So we've covered 125 songs so far. There are 165 songs total, and the rest of the songs are just from chapter 4. So here's what the tier list looks like so far. And at the end of this video, I might talk about some of my choices or whatever, or I might not. Just kind of depends. But yeah, I mean, I really don't have anything else to say. So yeah, let's just begin and watch my previous videos. They'll be in the description. So if you want to see want to see my elaborated thoughts on any of the songs, just go ahead and watch those videos, and I'll explain my choices for chapters 1 through 3. But today we're just gonna do chapter 4. So let's just start. So the first song in chapter 4 is Old Wooden Rafters. So this is basically the song that plays whenever you're in the church. I think this song is pretty like relaxing and fun to listen to. It's like I mean, it's not like super like fun to listen to. Like, it's not like the kind of song I'm listening to when I want to have fun like with songs, but it's definitely very niche and just a comfortable song. It's like pretty slow paced, but I like how it basically has the legend leitmotif. Like, I feel like chapter 4 is another chapter that's extremely prevalent when it comes to the legend leitmotif, and Old Wooden Rafters is no exception when it comes to that. Like, I definitely feel like Old Wooden Rafters is like it definitely gives you like a lot of Deltarune vibes. I don't think it's like the most Deltarune-ish song, like just in the vibes it gives me, but overall, I definitely feel like Old Wooden Rafters is a pretty good one. Like, especially in the context that it plays in, just in the church. Like, I definitely feel like it's definitely accurate to what a Orthodox church, like a Orthodox Christian church, would look like. And I think it's definitely a pretty interesting soundtrack. It's maybe not the best, but it's definitely all right. So I think I want to go A tier with this one. We'll go like, because I feel like it's actually decently good. So we'll go above Your Power. But yeah, not really too much to say about this one. Just it's pretty good though. Next is hymn. So not like another hymn, but hymn as in a prayer. And basically, this is a recurring song in chapter 4. They're like this basically. I've said a lot, but this song, it appears in a lot of different contexts in different forms, like with different instruments. But the first time you hear this, it's basically based off of the "Don't Forget" leitmotif. And the first time that this plays is obviously in the church when Toriel and her choir group are singing it. And it's like this is another one that it's kind of similar to Old Wooden Rafters in the same way that like I think it's very comfortable. It's interesting to listen to. Like, I feel like chapter 4 overall just has like a very interesting OST, and it's like definitely my favorite of the 4 chapters personally. And so like there's definitely going to be a lot of cool songs here, and him is another example of a song that's like maybe not like absolutely the best in the soundtrack, but it's definitely one that I consider to be pretty good. um but it's basically just like a bunch of vocals from I'm not totally sure who sings him, like if it's actual humans, or because it probably is, but it's like I'm not totally sure who sings it, so I cannot give credit. But whoever did sing this, like I definitely feel like they did a pretty good job at him. So yeah, and it's definitely like reminiscent of what a real hymn might sound like if you've ever been to a church before, or just like any like religious sanctuary. I definitely feel like it sounds very similar to what a hymn would look like, but obviously in context of the religion of Deltarune. So yeah, like I definitely feel like hymn's a pretty cool song. Like, I don't want to put it all over Old Wooden Rafters, because like I just feel like it's fun. Like it's fun for like what it is, like as its own little thing. Like, it's just a nice song. Like obviously, I know a lot of people don't really like vocal songs that much, but like I feel like for what him is, it's fun. So not really too much to say about it. But now we're coming up on a really good song. I really like Another Day in Hometown. I also called this one Hometown Day because from one of the newsletters, the song was called Hometown Day, and the name of it was later changed to Another Day in Hometown. But I actually prefer the name Hometown Day, just like for Welcome to the Green Room, I prefer the name Green Room. I feel like the old names for a lot. I've heard the old names for a lot of these soundtrack, like Green Room instead of Welcome to the Green Room, which I just said is just like I just feel like shorter names are often better. That's just my opinion, and that's not always true, but I don't know. Like enough about the name. Let's talk about the song. So it's definitely basically like the sequel to a town called Hometown, but it's basically faster paced, and it uses more piano, and it's definitely a song that I can sympathize a lot with because like I definitely like the structure of it. I like how it makes a lot of great usage of piano, and I play, as you know, I play piano, so it's definitely cool. It's really cool to me whenever a soundtrack in any video game has a lot of piano, which is actually quite a lot of songs in Deltarune, especially Chapter 4. Like Chapter 4 specifically has a decent amount of songs that definitely have piano in them. So it's like Another Day in Hometown is definitely like a really prime example of that. I really like the structure of the song. Like it's just happy. It gives you amazing vibes. Just like this is definitely one of the songs that just makes you feel like, oh wow, really, this might be the best Deltarune chapter yet. Like I just love the Light World section. Like I definitely feel like this song is really cool. Like whenever it like just plays during the Light World section in chapter 4, because it's just so fun to explore the town. Like even though there's not too much more content in the town, like I just feel like this song is really fun to just pause and listen to. And I think I prefer its style more than a town called Hometown. So actually, like I just think that Another Day in Hometown slash Hometown Day is really just a really fun song. I think it's like, you know what, we're gonna put this one in S tier. I like this one. Like I think it's actually better than a town called Hometown. So we'll go above Lost Girl. Like I just think that this one's pretty good. And now we have another song that's incredibly focused on piano, except this one, I think if I remember correctly, this one is fully in piano. So there's no other instruments like there are in Hometown Day, but Friends is basically this like kind of reminds me of what was that one song? It's like that one part in Last Goodbye, if I remember correctly, was just played by Toby Fox on piano, and it kind like Friends kind of reminds me of that in a way because it's like I feel like this song was like done in, like entirely just by like perhaps Toby playing the piano. Like I'm not totally sure how this song was created, but it definitely seems like it's a song that was created in a similar manner to that. And I really love it because it basically conveys like really nice emotions just being a piano song, and it's like the leitmotifs is nice. I like how it basically uses the uses Noel's theme from Girl Next Door. Although Noel doesn't actually appear in the context that Friends is using, it's actually just between Chris and Susie. Like I feel like this song was like definitely originally intended to be between Chris and Noel, perhaps, but it's used between Chris and Susie, and it's just basically showing Chris and Susie's friendship as they're doing stuff in the diner that Chris would normally do with Azriel, but now they've made a new friend in Susie. So I definitely think like it's like a really effective track at conveying Chris's friendship with Susie. Like it's like they've really only been friends for a few days, but they're such good friends. Like they have such a good bond together. So it's like really gives you hope that their bond won't be severed at any point. Like it definitely gives you really high hopes that Chris and Susie will continue to remain friends, hopefully throughout the game. Like I just think that Friends is a really fun soundtrack to just pause and listen to. Like that goes for a lot of soundtracks in Chapter 4. There's a lot of songs that I think are really they like I think they're enhanced if you just take some time to listen to them on your own. Like especially just if you just look, even if you just look it up on YouTube and listen to it, it's like really cool. So Friends is definitely a song that communicate with me a lot emotionally because it kind of reminds me of my friendships as well. So it's like I just can't begin to like it's hard for me to describe like how effective Friends actually is in my minds, and it's like I don't know, I just really like it. I think this might be a hot take, but I'm actually just gonna put Friends in S tier because like I just feel like Friends is just a really cool song. Um, I don't know, maybe bottom of S because like I feel like the other songs. I feel like I prefer the other songs in S tier, but Friends, it might be a hot take. I just think that Friends just communicate with me in like a really like meaningful way. So I feel like it would be kind of a sin in my mind to put it any lower. And obviously, since we're in chapter 4, the church chapter, it's like sins is definitely more of a topic than it is for the previous chapters. So now we have another banger. So Castle Funk is an absolute banger. I love how it's basically just My Castle Town, but in like a style that's more reminiscent of chapters 2 and 3. And it basically just uses the legend motif, but it basically like puts like a swing beat onto it, and also adds a lot of sections that weren't in the original. Like from there's kind of like a tenna, like a section that's kind of like tenna, like it kind of sounds like his leitmotif, and there's a lot of sections that just kind of got added because of the context of chapters 2 and 3. Not really chapter 1, because chapter 1 was just My Castle Town, but chapters 2 and 3 basically added onto Castle Funk, and Castle Funk is basically just like the modern My Castle Town. It's just like I really like this song overall. Like I think it just communicates like the idea that the town is growing from what it used to be. Like instead of being just a small castle town, the castle is now basically just it's growing. Like the town's just growing to be really nice. And I like how the fountain's like slowly transforming it to be like even bigger every time. So it's like definitely conveys the idea that the dark worlds are just like they have the ability to change like based on what's inside of them, which is just like really cool. And it's like I just feel like this is a really effective track. Just like once again to sit down and listen to it, it's definitely one of those things that you'll feel really good just listening to it all the way through. You'll get a lot of motivation from this one. So it's just like Castle Funk is just it's just awesome. Like and to actually trigger this song, you have to get most of the recruits in chapters 2 and 3. Now you don't have to get every recruit, but you'll just get My Castle Town. So if you don't get all the recruits, so this is definitely like a rewarding song if you get all the recruits. So I think it's even more effective in that way. And I think like I know this might be a more unpopular opinion, but I actually prefer this over My Castle Town. I really like Castle Funk. Um, I'm gonna put it pretty high actually. We're gonna put it below Knock You Down, but above Chaos King. I just think that Castle Funk is a really, 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 really effective song. Like I hope a lot of people feel the same way. Now we have Knock You Down rhythm version. So basically everything that I've said about Knock You Down in the chapter 2 video kind of just applies here. So I don't really feel like going over every single thing again, but yeah, pretty effective for the Queen fight. And in this context that is used for chapter 4 is just one of the 3 songs that they ported to the Guitar Hero minigame. So basically it's TV time and what else? Raise Up Your Bat and also this. I don't know why it's TV time didn't get its own like version of this, but Knock You Down did. But I definitely think that this version Knock You Down is pretty cool. So it's essentially the same thing. There is an added section on it that adds like more bass, I believe. Like I might be wrong about that, but it definitely adds on a couple instruments and it's definitely pretty cool. I actually prefer the original version of Knock You Down, but I definitely feel like the rhythm version is cool. Like even though it's actually pretty hard in my opinion to play the Lightner's live version of this like song. I feel like out of the 3 songs you get to play, Knock You Down's the hardest one. But overall, I feel like Knock You Down rhythm versions it's a pretty cool like remix of Knock You Down from chapter 2. So but even though I do prefer the original Knock You Down, I think that it's pretty close. So I'm just gonna put Knock You Down rhythm version just below the original Knock You Down. But I don't know because I feel like because essentially since they're both the same song, like it just feels kind of weird to put them like further apart. But pretty sure you get what I mean at this point. Now we have another song that I actually really like. So Gingerbread House is basically the theme that plays during Noel's house. It kind of reminds me of like a song that might play like during the holidays. Definitely reminds you of like a holiday theme like similar to Jingle Bells, which is also on this track. There's just a remix of Jingle Bells from chapter 2, but Gingerbread House is basically that, but are they more Deltarune like theme, and it's basically just Noel's theme, but like so it's like Girl Next Door, but translated into a theme that it definitely like reminds you a lot of friendships, such as Chris, Susie, and Noelle just hanging out at her house. It's definitely pretty cool. Like I really like how Deltarune has like a whole section just dedicated to hanging out at a friend's house. Like it just doesn't seem like something that would need to be there, but I really like that it's there. This is definitely one of my favorite sections of Deltarune. Like I really like the Noelle's house section. It definitely makes the light world seem pretty cool in my opinion, and it'll continue to seem cool in chapter 5 when we have the festival. But Gingerbread House, very effective track, especially leading to the very strange and edgy moments that happen shortly after, involving Chris and the Soul and Carol and in these other couple like these other remaining soundtracks, and it's just like for the dark moments that come like for the dark moments that appear inside of the house, um, this is a pretty nice like break from that, I suppose. Even though it plays technically before any of that stuff happens, I feel like it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna put it. I feel like this is another S tier track. I just really think this one's like effective and cool. Like, well, I'm trying to think of where to put it. We'll put it above Friends, but below the other stuff because like it's not like it's. I mean, it's not like a perfect song or anything. That I just feel like that this one is definitely on the underrated side of chapter four themes. That I feel like people should just like give Gingerbread House more of a chance rather than just like completely disregarding it and just like calling it like a holiday theme that only really makes sense around the holidays. Because I would disagree if you said that. Now we have the distance between two. So the distance between two is basically it's kind of like it's definitely in reference to Death's holiday missing, and it's just like it's with the whole context involving just going inside of Death's room and just seeing all her stuff like untouched because it's basically a museum that Carol is trying to set up so that Des won't be forgotten or something like that. Because we still don't know what happened to Des, but it's definitely a mystery that this game is trying to delve into more and more. And the distance between two is basically Lost Girl, but it's like slowed down and like with a different instrument than the normal, and it's like basically just very, very bare, empty, and alone. I think it has a really good like message with it. It's just like really does feel like you're like far away from another person. Like it's just definitely seems like something that could be relatable in real life, and it's just one of the reasons I love the chapter four soundtrack so far. It's just I feel like it just the chapter four soundtrack just communicates with the audience and the players really well. So this is definitely no exception to that. So I mean, I don't really feel like it's like an A plus song. I think it's like an A song. We'll put it just below him because I think the distance between two is a pretty nice song. It's just like for what it is pretty nice. Just like there are better songs, but I still think it's a pretty effective one. Now we have C. So this is another ambience track. It's not really a song, but it's basically just a bunch of ice noises that play when Carol enters the room. Now this one, I think that this song is extremely effective. I really like how effective C is in basically just like showing you how cold Carol is of a person, both literally and figuratively, because like it even gets colder when she enters the room, which could be like just a figurative thing or like a literal thing if you believe in the theories that Carol somehow knows ice magic. Like that would be, I feel like that'd be really cool for the story if she somehow learned it in the light world. But yeah, definitely, Carol's definitely an interesting character that I hope we get more scenes with her. Like I know people don't really like Carol. They're like, oh, she's the worst character. She's classist, or even she's homophobic, which I disagree with the latter at least. But pretty much, Carol's an interesting character that I think we might learn a lot more about. She might even be the Roaring Knight. Like I think it's definitely out of the Roaring Knight candidates. I think that Carol's definitely the second most likely to death. I think that it'd still be very interesting and cool if she's the knight. Like not maybe not as cool as Death, but I think that Carol Knight is definitely an interesting theory. And the sound like the track it all like it's just a bunch of ice noises, but in the context that it plays in, just the whole room gets silent when Carol enters. So it's really, really effective. I like this one. I can't really see myself putting it like super high because it's just ice noises. Like it's like as a track, it's kind of bare, but like in the context that it plays in, I feel like it makes it better. And that goes for a lot of soundtracks in this game. Like they might just seem boring by themselves and bare, but in the context, C is not that bad. So we're gonna put it above Digital Roots, but because I think it's just pretty effective. Now we have Atrium. So Atrium is definitely more like a song, and this is obviously the first theme that plays when you're actually inside of the Chapter 4 Dark World, and is basically just leading up to the night chase scene, and basically just falling down into the first area of the dark, like the first true area. But basically, it's just like the theme that plays when you're just first entering. It's really effective at just communicating the vibes of the dark world. It's just like ooh, like a very dark and mysterious place, definitely darker than the previous dark worlds, and it's basically just like it's just this is such a cool dark world. Like I feel like the Dark Sanctuary is easily my favorite part of the game so far. It's just very dark and mysterious, and it's just I think Atrium is definitely a very good example of that. it's not like a really like great song, but I feel like it's pretty cool. I'm gonna give it A tier. We're gonna give it. Let's see, where should I put it in here? We'll go below Quiet Autumn, but overall, I like Atrium, and it plays in quite a few ways and is very effective in every way it's used in. Now we have Dark Sanctuary. So Dark Sanctuary is kind of it's like the first main like the first true area theme in chapter 4, and I really like this one. Like I feel like the first time I heard it I wasn't super thrilled with it because it was kind of just like, you know, like I just felt like it didn't really fit Deltarune, even though it had the same light motif. I didn't feel like it fit Deltarune, but now I feel like it actually does pretty well at fitting that church vibe, also just fitting like the darker tone that Deltarune's taking, like with the start of chapter 4, because it's kind of like Act 2 of the game, if that makes sense. Like Act 1 would be chapters 1 through 3, and then Act 2 kind of just begins with chapter 4, and it'll probably also continue with chapter 5 if my theory is correct. But Dark Sanctuary is pretty cool. Like I feel like the light motif is really cool. Like I like how it changes like keys a little bit with each section. Like I just think that it's a really just effective and mysterious and cool track that is this is actually really fun to listen to. Like compared to a lot of the other soundtracks that I've ranked so far, Dark Sanctuary is one that I listen to quite a bit, and it's one that my opinion of it has just improved like the more I listen to it. So definitely a really cool track. I think it's definitely an A plus deserver. I don't really think that it's like an S tier song. That'd be like a hot take. I just feel like like Dark Sanctuary is like niche and cool. I don't think it deserves S tier just because I think that there's a lot of songs that just like kind of beat it out because like it's not like the most Deltarune song. Like it definitely gives you like a lot of Deltarune ish vibes, but like I feel like a lot of the songs that are above it just give me more of those vibes. So it just like leads me to put Dark Sanctuary slightly lower, but we'll put it over the Dark Truth. So pretty cool song. Definitely top of A plus. It's definitely deserving of the top of A plus, just not S tier in my personal opinion. And yes, these two songs do beat it out. I'm sorry. I like Dark Sanctuary. I just don't think it's as good as a lot of people think, but it's still not a bad song. Like it's just still not a bad song though. Sorry, I'm a bit tired while making this video. Now we have From Now On. So from now on, not to like make a joke about this, but it's basically the battle theme from now on. I would bet that this song is probably going to be the main battle theme, like just chapter 4 onwards. Like I would pretty much expect that this song would appear in chapter 5 because I feel like from now on is definitely a very interesting soundtrack. Now I will say I'm not trying to say anything bad about this one, but I feel like I would prefer Rude Buster to from now on just because from now on is just like I don't know why. Well, I like the leitmotifs and structure of the song. I just feel like even though it has like a really some really cool sections of it that stuck out to me a lot. I feel like I just kind of prefer like the initial shock of hearing Rude Buster. Like there's nothing that can beat that for me. Like I feel like there's very little to nothing that can beat like the initial shock of hearing how good Rude Buster was. And it's like from now on, it's like just one of those songs that I didn't really like pay attention to. Now that I've actually listened to it a lot more, it's like I feel like I my opinion about From Now On has grown a lot from just thinking it's just like a all right song to like thinking it's actually really good. Now I do still prefer Rude Buster to From Now On, but it's like I feel like it's really effective and like it's really effective, like more effective than Rude Buster would have been for Chapter 4. I definitely think that From Now On works better in context of the darker tone that Chapter 4 takes, but it would like I feel like Rude Buster just works for the first 3 chapters, and then From Now On just works either for just chapters 4 and 5, or even just chapter 4, or even the rest of the game. Like I feel like it would work if this is just like the theme that plays for the second half of the game or whatever. Definitely a pretty effective track though. Like I like its section. It's just like it's fun to listen to. Like it has the Don't Forget leitmotifs and just the Dark Sanctuary leitmotifs. Like there's a lot of cool sections of like from chapter 4 music and just chapter 4 motifs that get put into this song. And so it's a really cool battle theme, just a really cool song in general. So I feel like it deserves. I don't think it's like an S tier song, but it's definitely an A plus song. We're gonna put it just below the Dark Sanctuary. I feel like I prefer the Dark Sanctuary theme a little more, but from now on, definitely pretty cool. Now we have yeah, this is basically kind of like yeah, like it's like a mix of yeah, it's kind of like the song yeah from Undyne. It's also just kind of like it basically because it basically had the same motives from Undyne, sorry, but it's essentially just Gerson Boom's theme slash Oberon Smog for that one theory, and basically just it's basically just Gerson's initial theme. I now as a person who is part Irish, I like even though I don't sound Irish, I have some Irish in me, so it's like I feel like according to my lineage, like this one kind of hits me a lot, or just like I feel like this one just kind of hits hard for me, or just like there's a lot of like Scottish vibes with this one too. Like I just feel like this song is like very European in style, and because that's kind of how Gerson is. Like I feel like Gerson is a character that I would kind of imagine with a Scottish accent. So this song is like really good at like kind of communicating that for me, and it's just like with especially with Gerson's demeanor, it's just like the way he does everything. Like he's Gerson's such a funny character, without a doubt one of my favorite Deltarune characters. I just think that Gerson's like a really cool character. He's got a cool fight. Like just everything about this character is just like this just screams like father figure to me. Like I definitely feel like Gerson's like he kind of seems like similar to a father figure. Like I bet he'd be a good father for Alvin and just like anything to do with that. But very cool song. Like I feel like its notes maybe hit a little too hard, like in like a not so good way. Like I feel like it goes a little too hard than it should. Like this song goes hard, but like maybe in a way that doesn't communicate itself as well as other songs do. So for that, like I'm not like gonna put it like as an absolutely amazing song, but I don't. That doesn't mean I'm like saying bad stuff about Yahaha. I still like this song, and man, it sounds stupid to say the name of the song just casually without laughing. But pretty fun song. I don't think it deserves S tier, but it's definitely pretty cool. We're gonna put it below Giga Size. But yeah, it's a Yahaha is a pretty fun one. Just not just not like as deserving of S tier or higher as other songs are in my opinion. Now we have Fireplace. So Fireplace is basically takes the same motifs from Gerson and Undyne. Now I believe that Gerson is actually the holder of the Justice Light motif that Undyne kind of takes for him, because Gerson is basically one of Undyne's mentors from Undertale. Her mentors are Gerson and Asgore. Obviously, Undyne mentions Asgore, but I feel like Gerson is the only one that mentions that he trained Undyne or had like a friendship with Asgore or whatever. Because Asgore doesn't mention Gerson. I don't remember, but Gerson definitely mentions Asgore. So it's definitely like affected that he uses the leitmotif, especially since they're incredibly similar characters, and it's also just like they have similar battle mechanics. But very cool leitmotif, and I basically like how this song just conveys the idea of just being at a fireplace and chilling. It's like definitely a very effective track that to like relax to. There's a lot of really relaxing songs in Chapter 4, in my opinion. Like probably arguably more relaxing songs in Chapter 4 than the other chapters. Like I definitely feel like Fireplace is one of those songs that just gets you really relaxed. So I really like this song overall. Like just in its structure. Like it's not like a song that I'm gonna listen to a lot, but it's definitely pretty cool. Like I feel like this one actually, you know what, this one deserves A plus. We'll put it over the Holy. Fireplace is a pretty underrated one in my opinion. It's not like that amazing, but it's pretty cool. Like I definitely a very cool song. Now we have a Dark Zone. Okay, so a Dark Zone's a banger. I'm sorry. A Dark Zone is a banger. It's basically the Jackenstein battle theme, and it just like there's so many like memes and jokes surrounding this fight that I just really like. I just really like the Jackenstein fight in general. Like this is such a cool idea for a boss. Like there is just no boss in Deltarune that's just as innovative and just unique as this one is, in my opinion. Like I love almost all the Deltarune bosses, but Jackenstein as a boss is just like really cool, and I like how his theme, A Dark Zone, is basically Spooktune from Undertale, but basically remixed and like made into a boss theme, which is like really effective in my opinion. Like this one's a bop. I like how it has kind of like it has like a swing rhythm. This is one that I'll listen to. I've actually listened to this one quite a bit, and I just like jamming out to it because A Dark Zone is just so fun. Like it's just a really fun song that I just really love listening to this one just like really randomly. Like this is definitely one of the better boss themes in my opinion. Like I definitely really like A Dark Zone just in general, like especially with the vibes of the fight, like Jackenstein trying to be scary, but he's actually not scary in at all. It's just like I just really I and I really like the memes like during this fight, like you're taking too long. Like this fight definitely reminds me of like a YTP, just with its structure, like the sentence mixing with Jackenstein and just everything that goes into this is just so fun. And it's like definitely an unexpected fight, and it's like the thing about chapter 4 is that it doesn't have that many bosses. Like it really only has like 3 bosses, but the 3 or 4 bosses that it does have are pretty cool. Like I just think that every boss it does have is cool. Like I'd rather have 3 or 4 really high quality bosses than a bunch of low quality bosses. And I feel like chapter 2 is a chapter like it's not like the bosses in chapter 2 are low quality. I just feel like I'd rather have like a bunch of high, like a few high quality bosses than a lot of low quality bosses. So I feel like chapter 4 does really well in that aspect. Not that I'd really dislike any bosses from the other chapters, just like I feel like chapter 4 does the best with like quality over quantity, if that makes sense. But the Dark Sun's a really cool, effective track. Now, I think this one just stuck out to me a lot. Like this is one I listen to a lot. I think it's so effective for the fight. It's so effective as a song in general. I'm gonna put it in S plus. It'll go at the bottom of S plus because I feel like there's definitely a decent amount of songs that just beat this one out. But a Dark Zone is I think a Dark Zone is just like a really really just fun track, and there's just so much like good stuff surrounding this character that is just like I just really can't put it any lower. Like I just can't find it in my heart to put this one lower. I just love it. And now we have Mysterious Ringing. So Mysterious Ringing, it's not really like a song per se, because I guess it doesn't even really have like a melody. It's just kind of like a bunch of ringing. Like I really don't know how to like put it into vocals because it's really just like a bunch of ringing in the context of chapter 4, like the church dark world having like a lot of bells. So I definitely think that's effective in that case. It's definitely like mysterious as the name of the track implies. Like it's definitely like it definitely is mysterious ringing. Like I definitely agree with that aspect of it. So yeah, there's not too much to say about this one. Just it's short, but it's interesting for what it is. I can't really put it higher than A minus because it's just ringing. Like it's just kind of like more of a sound effect than anything else. But I can see why people like it, so I'll put it below Birdly Rejected Concept. Now that doesn't mean I'm like insulting it, but because I kind of like Birdly Rejected Concept secretly, but Mysterious Ringing is definitely an interesting one. Now we have one that I actually think is pretty underrated. So Ever Higher is basically the theme that plays whenever you encounter those little cup guys with legs, and basically they're just climbing to save the quote unquote princesses. And basically it's just a really fun track that plays like during the climbing mini games and just like whenever you encounter these like fun little dudes. So but this is like a really elegant and lively track. I just love the structure of this one. It's like swinging a little bit. Like I just really like how this song is designed in general. Like it definitely has like really good vibes to it in my opinion. Not I just don't see a lot of people like talking about Ever Higher. I just feel like Ever Higher is like a really cool one that like I don't know, like it has like so many good like sections and leitmotifs to it. Like I can't like glaze it forever, especially since eventually I'm gonna run out of stuff to say. But Ever Higher, very cool track, like just really cool. So see, now the question is, do I put it in A plus or S tier? You know what? I'm gonna go A plus, just because like I don't really feel like it's super deserving of S tier, but like it's definitely good. So we'll put it here because like I think this one's a bit underrated. It's just not like super underrated in my opinion, but it's definitely a very good one. And now we have Wise Words. So this is basically just one of Gerson's. Um, this is Gerson's original leitmotif, like obviously combined with Undyne's leitmotif that Gerson actually owns originally. But Wise Words is basically his other like B section. It's basically just like the whole bum 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 ba da ba bum 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 bum. Like obviously the last part comes from Undyne from Undertale, like but this is basically just like the the representation of like the other section of Gerson's leitmotif that's basically original to him, and it's just basically in context of him just instructing Susie on how to do things. Like I definitely feel like it's a niche, like cute little track. It's just like not one that I would really listen to a lot, but I definitely think that Wise Words is kind of just it's interesting. Like it's not like amazing, but it's definitely interesting. Like I feel like it's like an A tier song, so we'll go like yeah, this one's cool. Like not like super cool, but like I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with putting it there. Like it doesn't really do too much, but it's definitely interesting, especially how it like transform like it shifts at one point and like and there's like a added instrument. Like I definitely think that's really effective. And now we have piano that may not be played well. And funnily enough, I actually heavily disagree with the title of this song because basically Toby playing the piano, but like I think that this song is played really well. It's so the second song in the chapter 4 soundtrack, Hymn. This is basically the same exact thing, but it's a piano version of it that Chris plays to basically unlock the door to the fountain, like the very first fountain. So piano that may not be played well is basically just the piano version of Hymn. But I really like this song. Like I actually prefer it over Hymn. Like I just think that this one's like really really effective, and it's like this one, like believe it or not, like this is actually one of the few Deltarune moments that actually made me like kind of emotional. Like Deltarune isn't like a game where I felt super super emotional like in a sad way. Like I like it definitely triggers a lot of emotions for me, but like not really like emotions that'll make me cry, more just like emotions that'll get me excited. Like there's definitely a lot of excitement with Deltarune, but not really a whole lot that'll like make me sad. At least not yet. But chapter 4 definitely had more of that than any of the other chapters in my opinion. So it's like this is definitely one of those examples that like definitely just made me feel something like more than a decent amount of other songs. Now, a lot of songs in this game did make me feel like pretty good, but this is one of those just kind of touched me in a good way. So it's like obviously since I play piano, it's kind of even more effective towards me than you might think. So I'm actually gonna go A plus with this one. I think this one's actually just really really effective and emotional. So it's like it just kind of feels like a sin to me to put it like lower. I can't put it super high because it's simple enough, but like especially since like combined with the pion pion part after it, like I think this is just a really cool moment in chapter 4 and just in the whole game in general. So I feel like this is a pretty accurate placement for the song. And now we have a banger. So Hammer of Justice is basically the Gerson boss theme that I talked about a little earlier, and basically it just plays whenever you fight Gerson. And I love this song. Like I don't think it's like the one of the best boss themes, but I definitely think that Hammer of Justice is just like a really cool boss theme. This is obviously one of the songs that I played on piano, but it's like I definitely think it's really cool like with its leitmotifs, and it basically just mixes parts of Battle Against a True Hero and like Spear of Justice together, and it basically just creates this really cool like Garson version of the theme, and it's basically just like it's like really effective for like the aspect of him challenging Susie basically to a duel. I think this is just like a really fun boss, like especially compared to the chapter 3 bosses. Like if you were frustrated with the chapter 3 bosses, I feel like the chapter 4 secret boss or Garrison definitely this up for that. And this is kind of a guy that you wouldn't really expect to be the secret boss, but that's kind of what makes the secret bosses like unexpectedly cool. Like it's just like Hammer of Justice is just one of those songs that it's like I definitely listen to it occasionally, and it just makes me feel good. Like this is not a song that I'd listen to like super super often, but Hammer of Justice is definitely like a really fun one in my opinion. So I think it's I think this is actually an S tier song. I'll put it above Gingerbread House. I think that Hammer of Justice is a pretty good one. Like it's not as good as a lot of the others above it, but I think that this that Hammer of Justice is a pretty fun listen from time to time. So now we have 12 a.m. So 12 a.m. is one that I didn't really like. This is it's not one that I dislike because I don't really like I don't really like extremely dislike any of the tracks in this game, but it's like 12 a.m. is one that I just didn't really care for too much. Basically, just because it's simple enough. Like I know it's kind of sad in context of Susie just telling you a story and just exploring the church while it's dark, and it's just kind of sad. Like it just makes you think about like all the hardships that have taken place in this game. So it's like a sad track, but it's just like I don't know. It's cool. It's good for what it is. Just didn't really like strike me as well as a lot of other tracks did. So I think it's an A minus track. Like gonna be honest. Like I think it's better than Mysterious Ringing, but not better than Birdly Rejected Concept. Like I definitely think that 12 a.m.'s cool enough, but I just think that there's a decent amount of songs that just kind of beat this one out. Now you might like it, and that's completely fine. It's just like it just wasn't the most effective song for me personally, and that's okay because like not every song has to be like super super good. However, speaking of super super good, now we have the second Sanctuary. So the second Sanctuary is one of those songs that like I just listen to it and it just gets better and better for me. Like although I do prefer the third Sanctuary, the second Sanctuary is a song that I just really, really enjoy. Like I just the initial shock of just hearing this one, like when you're initially just like entering the second Dark World that Susie creates, like it's so just unexpected to hear this, and it sounds like a ringtone. Like it doesn't even sound like something that's a song, and then it just transforms into a song with like really interesting time signatures, like because time signatures aren't really things that you think about with music, but for songs like the second Sanctuary in the third Sanctuary, like time signatures are definitely something that you're going to be learning about. Like I really like how chapter 4 is like made a lot of people kind of learn what time signatures are. So I really like the second Sanctuary and the third Sanctuary for that. So it definitely gives me a high opinion of the song. And also it's just like a really cool song, like just really comfortable. And it's just like I just really like the vibes of this one, and it's just like so fun to play on the piano or just like to listen to. Like this is just a cool song. Like I think that like both Sanctuary themes just definitely stuck out to me a lot. Like I definitely think that these are some of the best area themes in the game, if not the best area themes in the game. Like I just love the Sanctuary theme. So like I just think that these themes are definitely like just really 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 fun. So like especially since it's like Susie telling me her story, like some of her backstories is like it's so effective, especially when thinking about like its context revolving Susie. So I think, see, this yeah, this might be a bit of a take, but I think this is an S plus song. Like I just think that this is like a really 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 cool song. We're gonna put it above a few of these. Uh, is it better than Rude Buster? Sure. So okay, so I'm putting the second Sanctuary at the top of S plus. Now I don't quite think that the second Sanctuary deserves like T tier, because I feel like just the songs that I put above the second Sanctuary kind of just beat it up. But the second Sanctuary is just, it's so just like good. Like I really don't know how to keep explaining it. It's just I just love this song. Like I really don't know how many different ways I could say it. Like I just really like it. Now we have Ripple. So Ripple is one of the few Deltarune songs that doesn't really have a melody, but I feel like out of the songs that don't really have a melody, like the ambience tracks, I feel like Ripple is definitely one of the most effective tracks in that case. So it basically appears whenever you're in like a hopeless setting where it's like really dark and you don't really know like what you're going to be able to do. So it's like it's definitely like really effective in triggering anxiety from the player, because it's also kind of reminiscent of like what Susie might be feeling. Like she realized it's when this song plays and she's fighting the fake Gerson statue that she realizes that she's maybe lost a friend in Gerson, because like he doesn't recognize her in the dark, and it's just she realizes that she made a mistake creating the dark world and that it might have changed Gerson or made Gerson evil. So it's just like she realizes that she messed up and she's confused. She doesn't know what to do, and Chris is nowhere to be found. So it's definitely really effective. And this is a track that kind of just like expands over time. So it's like there's no melody to this one. It's basically just like a bunch of like rhythms, but it's like really cool, interesting rhythms, and it works really well in like communicating like anxious feelings. Like I think that Ripple, it's not really like the most effective boss theme, but overall I think Ripple is just it's just a cool one just to like listen to maybe once or twice in a while. Like I don't listen to this one like super 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 often, but I think that in the context that it plays in, especially in the context of like who is fake Gerson, like is it actually Gerson, or is it like just or is it actually just like some doppelganger, and it ends up being just a doppelganger. But like the idea that it might just be evil Gerson is just like it's funny, but also a bit scary just like thinking about it. Like chapter 4 is definitely a lot scarier and darker than I initially anticipated it being, I suppose. So Ripple is definitely really effective in communicating that. I think that Ripple is not really like an A plus song, but this is definitely a top of A song for me. So I'm gonna put Ripple at the top of A just because of how like effective it is and like slowly building on itself over time. Like I just think that this one has like really interesting vibes, and it's just like I just think that Ripple was constructed pretty well, but since it doesn't have a melody, I really can't see myself putting it any higher, but it's definitely a good one. Now we have 13 a.m. As the name implies, this is essentially a sequel to 12 a.m. and it's pretty much just in the context of the scene where it's like Ralsei is crying because like he realizes that like he's hiding too much from Chris and Susie. So it's just like it's definitely like another sad moment in the chapter. Like it's just kind of Like this is just one of those like moments where it's like a moment where you're sad, but it's also kind of like a feel good moment because like you're realizing that like maybe he's getting a lot of stuff off his chest, so it's just like it's just one of those attracts. Like it's not like amazing, but it's just for what it is. Like it's just kind of effective, and it's not really a song that I can talk about too much. Like unlike 12 a.m., which actually I think 12 a.m. plays in a couple different contexts. I feel like 13 a.m. only appears. Actually, this song might appear twice. I feel like I had it backwards. So 12 a.m. might be the one that only appears once, and then 13 a.m. is the one that appears a couple times. Now I don't really know if there's like significance to the name other than just being just something to do with military time and just like just just the fact that it's like 1 in the morning or something like that. But just it's definitely a very effective track. So I mean like it's not like super effective, but I don't know. I feel like I like this one a little more than 12 a.m. honestly. So we're gonna put it at the very bottom of A. I can't really see myself putting this one higher, but like I'm even putting Breath over it, but I just kind of think it's interesting enough for what it is. And now we have another banger, the third Sanctuary. So I talked about the second Sanctuary, and I talked about how interesting it was as a song and like its time signatures. And the third Sanctuary takes the second Sanctuary did and makes it even better. So the time signatures and the third Sanctuary, first of all, are just like absolutely wild. The time signatures in this song are just off the charts with how crazy they are. Like you have 11:16, you have 5 you have 10:8, I think. I might be wrong. You also have 18:8. Or, and when I'm saying 8, like I could just also mean 16. Like I'm not totally sure what these time signatures are, but I know that there are definitely ones that you wouldn't see so often. But it's like that doesn't really that doesn't really hurt the song. It actually helps the song because this is a song that kind of made a lot of Deltarune fans like learn more about music and what time signatures are. So I think it's really effective that Toby just made this one that was like it wasn't just 4/4. Like I definitely feel like this the third sanctuary just like really goes the distance. Like it's so good because it just like it starts off like the same as second sanctuary, so you think it's just the second sanctuary again, but then it actually just ends up being so good. It's like it's just this is the third sanctuary is by far my favorite final area theme in the game. Like I just think that this one is so cool. Like this is the third sanctuary is probably actually one of my personal defining Deltarune songs. Like I think that this is definitely like a new one that I just like really enjoy. Like I would definitely put this one like close to the top of my list just because of how many different sections of it. Like a lot of different sections are like similar to the second sanctuary. I understand that people think that the second sanctuary is better, but actually I just prefer the third because I just think that it has like really good finality vibes to it. Like it's definitely a song that feels like it could play at the end of chapter 7 and be just as effective. Like I just think that like especially since like there's one part where you think it's just looping, but there's like a 23:16 section at the end that kind of just brings everything full circle, and it's just and especially the ending, like it just ends so well. Like the whole song is just so memorable and just so cool. Like it's just so hard not to listen to this. Like it's so tempting just to listen to this song like all the time. Like I really like the third sanctuary. Like I just think it's the best final area theme, or maybe just one of the best area themes. So like definitely better than TV World and Pandora Palace. I prefer it to Rude Buster. I think it's better than Field of Dreams and Cyber's World. So this one is going to go at the top of T tier. Now I don't I'm kind of debating like with myself whether to put it in the true Toby Fox tier or the T tier, because if I leave it in the T tier, then the only songs in Toby Fox are just going to be battle themes. But it's like I feel like I'm gonna leave it in T because it's like I feel like it uses like a lot of like parts from like the second sanctuary, and while that doesn't necessarily make it worse because it's like a really cool and effective song. Like with where I'm putting it, it's just like I just feel like the third sanctuary is just it's a really just immersive soundtrack to listen to. Now, while I do kind of prefer the other 4 themes that are above it, I feel like the third sanctuary kind of deserves its top 5 spot. Like this one just really stuck out to me like throughout the whole soundtrack. Like this soundtrack's great, like all these songs on the list are just great, but the third sanctuary just like is one of those that just like truly just stuck out to me a lot. So for that I feel like it kind of deserves the top of T. And now we have a dark place. So The Dark Truth from chapter 2. So a dark place is essentially a sequel to that. So it's pretty much just like it's the same leitmotif, like the don't forget leitmotifs, and it's basically just like conveying a sense of hopelessness, but it's also like togetherness because the party is just together, and like they're using the glow from Crystal Solstice to survive the night's attack. So it's definitely a really good moment. Like it's definitely a moment that makes you feel like, oh, we're almost there, just keep going. And they eventually make it there, but it's like I just think that A Dark Place is like just really effective at like and emotional. Like it's this is definitely another thing that I feel like chapter 4 just kind of feels like the end of the game. However, it's not the end of the game, and it's just like I just think that even although it seems like it very well could be the end of the game, it's just like, and this is one of those songs that makes it feel that way. It's also just like it kind of sets you up for like songs that might be like similar to this, like just later in the road. But it's like A Dark Place is just one of those that like it's something very memorable. Although it is very similar to The Dark Truth, like I just think that this song in the context that it's in is just so effective, man. Like I think it's an A+ song. I think see where should I put it? I think I'm gonna put it above The Dark Truth, but below From Now On, because like I think that the From Now On's better than The Dark Place, but I feel like The Dark Place and The Dark Truth are just two songs that just like really just stuck out to me personally. Now we have Heavy Footsteps. Now Heavy Footsteps, in my opinion, is a very underrated soundtrack. Now it's not like an absolutely amazing soundtrack, but basically, in my opinion, like my original take with Heavy Footsteps is that it's essentially the Roaring Knights main theme, like outside of battle. Now you might think, oh well, isn't that just Breath? Well, I feel like there's a clear difference between the soundtrack Breath and Heavy Footsteps. Breath is essentially like the knight's animalistic nature, and when you first encounter them, like, and also just encountering them unexpectedly. But Heavy Footsteps is kind of it's more it just conveys the feelings of like you know what you're getting into, and it's just you're going there anyway. So it definitely feels rather than the party being ambushed by the knight, it definitely feels like they're actually ready to challenge the knight, which just makes it. I just think that makes it all the more effective. I just think that Heavy Footsteps is a very effective pair, like especially like with the way it's just set up. Like I also like how there's like a lot of like marching band drums. Like I feel like Heavy Footsteps is definitely if this was a song that our marching band played, it could definitely be one of those like just really cool songs. Like I just think that the way that it's structured is very knightly. Just it works for the knight as a character, and it just like this one is definitely just very underrated in my opinion. I have a very high opinion of it. I don't know if it's like a plus song, but I think this one is definitely like deserving of top of A. So I'm gonna put it right here. Like I just think that people like well, it's not like an absolutely amazing track because it's simple enough. I just feel like Heavy Footsteps is just one of those that maybe people should put a bit higher than they think that it deserves. Crumbling Towers is essentially Heavy Footsteps, but expanded upon and also faster. Like this one like has a faster BPM, but it has like the same leitmotifs. Like this one actually goes on for like a very long time. And it's basically when the party's just climbing the fountain after the knight creates the fountain. It's just such a like remarkable like memorable moment in the game because it's so unexpected and shocking that you're fighting a titan this early, but basically you're just climbing up the tower before the titan can spawn, trying to defeat it, and it's too late. But it's just like this just definitely conveys the feeling like you're almost there. Just keep going, you're gonna make it. And I think it's kind of like don't give up in that sense from Undertale, but it's just like it kind of just in my opinion like I know a lot of people might not think the same, but it's Crumbling Tower is just kind of like that. It's kind of like that for me. Like it's kind of like don't give up, but just like in with a more Deltarune feel, like don't give up, you're almost there, you're gonna make it. Just keep climbing up the tower, and it's, even though there's a lot of darkness around you, just keep going and you'll make it there. It's just like I just think that this song is really effective. Like this is another song that I think is like really effective, especially in the context of like a marching band playing it. So it's like Crumbling Tower is it's just a good one. Like especially just in its structure and like the themes that play during it, like the Dark Sanctuary slash Don't Forget motif. Like it's just so memorable. Definitely A+ at least. I don't know if it's like an S tier song, but I think that this is one that that I would feel comfortable with putting at the top of A+. So I'll put it above From Now On, but below Dark Sanctuary. Like I just think that Crumbling Tower is a very memorable song. Now we have Spawn, which is Spawn is another song that I think is pretty underrated, and it basically just plays whenever you're fighting the Titan Spawn, and it's a really effective song because it's basically a boss. Like I think that like the Titan Spawn is technically a mini boss because it's just like a boss that you only like you're only gonna fight these dudes once, and you might fight them later in the game, but it's basically just like these are very powerful enemies, so it takes a while to defeat them because you're not really sure if you're going to be able to defeat them, but it's just like really effective, like especially like a lot of the songs recently have been using like the Dark Sanctuary light motifs, and Spawn is definitely no exception because it definitely uses those light motifs very well, and it just the way like this is another one of those songs in my opinion, just like the way that it's structured is just really 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 effective. It's just like I really like how this definitely feels like the song is it definitely puts you on edge in a good way. Like it's definitely a song that like just kind of prepares you for everything that's going on. It's like it kind of like it's kind of hopeless, but also it gives you hope at the same time. Like it kind of does both. So it's like I have a very high opinion of Spawn. I don't know if it's like an S tier soundtrack. I want to put it in S, but like you know what? We're gonna put it in S. I think that I'm gonna leave it at the bottom of S just because like I feel like that there are a lot of songs that are just like that kind of just beat it out, but I feel like Spawn is actually a pretty just effective track in general. So I'm gonna put it in S. Now we have Guardian, which is a really cool song. Also, Guardian is basically a sequel to Spawn. It's essentially just the big bad Titan theme. Now this is a really really underrated and effective final boss theme. Out of all the final boss themes, I feel like people talk about Guardian the least, but I feel like Guardian is a song that deserves way better than a lot of people give it. Like I think that Guardian is like really cool, like just in its structure, its leitmotifs. It's like although there's a lot of parts that I feel like could be improved a little bit, like it definitely just conveys the idea of like don't give up, you can do this. This is possible. We can defeat the final boss, but it's also just like I just think that it's a hopeful song, but also a hopeless song. Like it kind of just like has both aspects in it. Like it has both emotions put into it. I just think that it like especially with like the leitmotifs it uses the dark sanctuary leitmotifs again. It's just like it's kind of like the song Spawn, but it just improves upon it in such a good way. Like especially since like Railsay sets up the Titan as being an opponent that's like undefeatable. So I definitely think that it's very effective like when you're actually able to defeat like the Titan. Like I just feel like this fight just gets strengthened a lot by the fact that it actually is possible to defeat the Titan. It's just like I just feel like it strengthens the song like even though you don't think you can do it, you can do it. And then when you actually do end up defeating the Titan, it just kind of strengthens the song even more because it's just like conveys the feeling that oh well you thought you couldn't do it but you actually can, and that just makes it seem like you can do anything. If you can take on one of the baddest monsters in the game, you can take on anything. And it's just like I feel like that's kind of what the heroes realize after chapter 4. So I think that Guardian is a very effective song in just like so many ways. Like I feel like this one's like so really just really really underrated. Like I feel like people should put this one a lot higher than they do often. So Guardian is definitely like I think it's like the sequel to Spawn, so it's definitely better than Spawn. I think this is either an A S plus or a T song. You know what? T. Let's see. Where should I put it in T? Hmm. I'll put it here. I think Guardian is just like a very, very underrated and effective track. And like I said earlier in this video, I think that Chapter 4 is the best of the has like some of the best soundtracks in the game. And it really shows, especially with two songs in the T tier. It's just so this song is just so effective with tracks. Like I just or this or I should say this chapter is so effective with tracks and songs. Like I really love Chapter 4's OST, and it really shows with songs like Guardian, for example. All right, so we don't have too many left. So Need a Hand is basically just a subsection of Hammer of Justice, and this is when Gerson just comes in and saves you from the Titan. It's really effective. Like it's really hopeful. It's like definitely like the Gerson version of Don't Give Up, and it's so like epic when Gerson returns after you think you're not going to see him again because of the how special the main fountain was in the church. But basically, just Gerson returning is just such a cool twist that I think just strengthens it, even though you don't see him after you beat the Titan. Like this, I just love Need a Hand. Like it's definitely not as good as Hammer of Justice because it's just like one part from it, but I think the key signature is up a little bit. So it's definitely, I just think that the fact that Gerson even just appears like really strengthens this song a lot. So this is a song that I feel really comfortable putting like, let's see. Well, where's Hammer of Justice right here? Because like I kind of forget where I put Hammer of Justice, believe it or not. But like where did I put Hammer of Justice? Because I kind of forget. But I feel like Need a Hand's a pretty effective one, so I'm gonna put it like down here in A plus tier. Like I'm trying to put it below Hammer of Justice because I do like Hammer of Justice. Like I might just be an idiot and I just can't see it right now, but it's like I think that, oh, so there it is in S tier. So I feel like this song does not deserve S tier. It definitely deserves A plus tier because it's essentially just one section from Hammer of Justice. But I think A plus is definitely a correct spot for it. So I'm gonna leave it where I put it. Definitely really cool for the moment. And the place where it rains. And now here's my controversial take for this song. I was not super obsessed with this one. Now I know that the name of the soundtrack is very significant because basically there's a song from Undertale called um, "It's Raining Somewhere Else," and the fact that this soundtrack is called "The Place Where It Rained" is like, oh, it's connected to Undertale in more ways than we thought. So it's just like it's so just powerful. Like I think that the name of the soundtrack is incredibly powerful because people have always wanted to know what the place where it rained was, and the fact that it's Deltarune is just so effective at connecting Deltarune and Undertale just even more. So it's just, but the soundtrack itself is just like it's kind of just like a feel good soundtrack, like a relaxing one. It's definitely like really just fun. Like as a song, like it's. I think that I would prefer "It's Raining Somewhere Else" because it actually has like a melody, and basically this is the same song just without the Sans melody because Sans is not involved with us at all now. Obviously, Sans might be involved later if he ends up somehow traveling to the Undertale universe because a lot of people theorize that he's from Deltarune. But this song, like, it's pretty good. I just am not as obsessed with it as people like are. Like, I think like some people that are nostalgia for Undertale or just like the fact that the name of the track is really powerful might carry it for them, and I totally get that. Like I totally understand that mindset. It's just like I just don't feel like I'm gonna put it like super high just because it doesn't really have a melody, but it's definitely an interesting feel good song. So it's simply like an A tier track in my opinion. So I'll put it right here, just in the middle of A tier. Like I don't really think it deserves like a super high spot, but for what it is, I feel like it's pretty cool. Now we have the old Jitterbug. So the old Jitterbug is this is an interesting soundtrack for sure. It essentially just plays whenever you like come home to your house and you see Toriel dancing with Sans. Basically, just like, oh great, now my mom's got a boyfriend, and it's like definitely really like a mad, sad, angry moment for Chris. Like there's a lot of emotions that come into Chris like seeing Sans dance with Toriel. So it's definitely like, and this song doesn't really communicate that because it's like more just like focusing on Sans' fun with Toriel, but it's basically like there's like hidden emotions that you can detect like if you know the context that the song plays in. The song itself is essentially Ghost Fight but remixed. It's a very fun track, but it's just like in the context that it plays in, it's just like kind of depressing. Like if you realize like why this song plays, like it's really depressing, but like the song itself is just kind of fun. It's like I feel like the context that it's in kind of strengthens it a little bit because it's just otherwise it's just Ghost Fight, but I don't know, like Totally Dancing with Sans. Not sure how I feel about that, man. Not sure how I feel about that, but it's definitely like an A tier track. So I'll put it right here, below Rules card, because it's something that exists, and it's like it gets strengthened a little bit by context, but I really can't see myself putting it that much higher. But it's really funny. Like it's definitely one of the funniest Deltarune moments. Just seeing these two just dance together, like it's unexpectedly funny. And now we have Never Ending Night, which is basically the credit scene for chapter 4. I love Never Ending Night. Like this is one of those songs where I listen to it and I think that it just gets better because like this is a song that I wasn't super thrilled with when chapter 4 first came out, but just like after like re-listening to it, I'm like, you know what? This could work as the fourth sanctuary. Like I feel like Never Ending Night is kind of gives those same vibes as like the other Dark Sanctuary themes, even though it's a credit scene, but it's just like kind of gets you ready. It's like, oh, what's gonna happen next in the story now that there's like text that says you promised, Chris. So it's like definitely leaves you at like a not really like a cliffhanger, but just like it makes you wonder what might happen next. And then after the song's over, it's like really effective text like saying that this is the halfway mark, and then it shows you the release date of chapter 5, which is in 2026. So I think that the song is like really just cool and fun. Like I think that Neverending Night is a very feel good song, especially since it's like just a really good credit theme. Like this is definitely the best credit theme so far in my opinion. Like Neverending Night's not really underrated because I like it. It's just like I just think it's really like a really interesting song just in basically all ways. I don't really know if it like deserves S tier. You know what? It deserves S tier. We're gonna leave it at the bottom of S tier. I don't really feel super comfortable putting it higher, but I feel like Never Ending Night is just a very good song. So I'm gonna put it at the bottom of S tier. I think it's pretty cool. Not too many left. Now we have the Legend question mark. So the Legend is obviously a chapter 1 track, and this is just something that basically changes keys a lot, and it's not like a full like track like the Legend is, but it is basically just ends in like delves into the chapter 4 territory. Like this definitely strengthens my theory that like the game split into acts. So obviously Act 1 is chapters 1 through 3, and then chapter 4 basically just begins Act 2. But the Legend question, like the Legend period question mark or dot question mark is basically just like a shorter version of that like makes you really wonder, maybe this game's even more mysterious than I thought it was. Like this game is just like really fun with a lot of Easter eggs and mystery. It's just like the Legend just kind of communicates that, like especially whenever you finish chapter 4, it's like, you know what, this game's taking an interesting turn. Like that's kind of just the vibes it gave me. So not as effective as the Legend, but it's definitely like an A tier track, like middle of A. I think I'm comfortable with putting it there. Like it's definitely a good one, just not like as effective as the original version of the Legend, but I can definitely see why people would put it higher. Now we have a pretty good one. So with Hope Crushed on Our Hearts is basically kind of like the second version of Before the Story, which is the song that plays for Act 1 of Deltarune, and further strengthening my theory that the game is split into acts with so many different songs from chapter 4 like being different from like the base songs from chapter 3. It's just like with Hope Crushed on Our Hearts is no exception that, and I actually prefer this one to Before the Story because it's basically just like it shows that the characters have developed so much from the initial point in which the game begins, and so I love it for that. Like it's so just cool. Like it's so like this is such a cool song just in its structure. Like it's definitely another feel good track that you just love to listen to. Like it's just with Hope Crossed on Our Hearts is such a great song. Like I just really have a strong opinion with this one. Like this is just like it's just so fun. Like just listen to it for yourself. Like this is one of those songs where I should say listen to it for yourself. And like seriously, just listen to the Deltarune soundtrack if you haven't. Like I don't know why you're watching this video if you haven't at least played the game and listened to the songs, but it's just so good. Like definitely S. Maybe not S plus, but definitely S. We're gonna go here with it. I just think that with Hope Crafts on Our Hearts is just a really cool song. Just like most if not all of the chapter 4 songs. So we have four remaining. So volume adjustment is basically the theme that leads up to the secret mic battle within Castletown, and basically it uses that leitmotif from the one of the newsletters that's basically just like the sneaking leitmotif. And I like how instead of like when Toby scrapped the theme from the main sections, like from the main stealth sections, even though he didn't scrap the stealth sections, he still scrapped the song. They went with it, but like he still used the leitmotif in a different song. So this is one of those songs. It's like ba bum ba 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 bum. I definitely have a strong opinion of the leitmotif and volume adjustment by extension. So I think volume adjustment is a pretty cool song. Like even though it's simple enough, like it just has like a very faint melody, but those drums, man, like I just have a good opinion of this one. Like I think it's like not really like an A plus song, but it's definitely an A tier song. Uh, Yeah, this is a fun one. I feel like it's definitely on the underrated side. It's not like absolutely amazing, but I feel like it's pretty cool. And now we have basically the boss theme for that. This is basically the secret Mike boss fight that and the Cat's Wing overall is just a very 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 fun song. I really like Cat's Wing. I like all the motifs in it involving Spamton and Antenna. Like this is definitely the theme to me that conveys the insanity of the fandom. Like the Deltarune fandom is just completely insane sometimes, and this song definitely conveys like how bonkers the fandom is for just like theorizing so many things about Spamton and Antenna and Mike and Image Friend. It's just like I feel like this is kind of like a love letter to that rather than like a hate letter. Like Cat Swing is just it's such a fun track that you just get down to and vibe to. Like this is definitely one that I listen to quite a bit because it's just like I just think that Cat Swing is just like a really 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 underrated song, just like really effective. Like even if Mike's not really a real character, I definitely think that this fight is just so funny. Like this is definitely one of the moments that I laughed at a lot. Just fighting these dudes, even though the fight's pretty easy. Cat Swing is just a really well structured song. I think that it's an S tier song. In all honesty, like I don't know where to put it. Yeah, pretty high up. Not better than Castle Funk, but I think that Cat Swing is a really underrated track. I just really like this one. Please understand. And with all that, we have two remaining. So Airwaves is basically it's basically like the thing that plays whenever you are trying the minigames after you defeat the mics. There are three minigames that you get to play: Jongler, uh, Pluie, and there's one more that I forget the name of it. And we also get to figure out where Pluie came from. It's just a funny cat minigame, but this is basically just it uses the Spamton leitmotif, even though it doesn't really have anything to do with Spamton. It's basically just like the weird like the weird stupid Spamton leitmotif. It just like I really like Spamton's leitmotifs. I'm only calling it stupid because it's like in this specific context, it's just like like it just seems like a theme that's just kind of out of place because it doesn't like relate to Spamton at all. But it's basically just like Airwaves is just one that's like I don't really feel like it's super memorable, but I feel like it's just funny. Like this is just one that you might laugh at. Just it's like weird in structure, but it's not like a bad song. I definitely think that's like a decently good song, but it's like I don't know. I just feel like there's more songs that are just more memorable. So Airwaves, fun song, A tier. Go like relatively low in A tier because I don't feel like it's that cool, but like it's definitely cooler than a lot of these other songs. And with that, we have reviewed every single Deltarune song in the entirety of Deltarune. Wait. Oh, wait. That's right. There's one more. Okay. Wait, Concert for You. Huh. I don't think I've listened to this song in a while. Um, let's pull it up. Let's see. Concert for You, Deltarune. I haven't listened to this one in a while. I don't really remember what this one sounds like. Just please let me quickly just look up what this song sounds like. It's peak. It's peak. Absolute S tier, T tier. It's better than that. It's so good. It's just so amazing, guys. Like I'm sorry, like Concert for You, it's so peak. Like there is not a song peaker than the singular plink. Yeah, no. This one this is certainly a choice to put in the OST. This is certainly a choice to put in the OST. Certainly a choice. Can I add a row below? Thanks. Concerts for You. And with that, I have truly covered every single Deltarune song in the entire soundtrack. Now, this is a great soundtrack overall. One of my favorite video game soundtracks, that's for sure. Only one song in B tier, which kind of shows how good it is. Well, technically, two songs, because we have a singular plink on the piano. Best song in the game. And then we have five B plus songs,
more than 10 A minus songs, more than 20 A songs, more than 20 A plus songs, around 20-ish S songs, and then we have just 6 S plus songs, 7 T songs, and then 4 Toby Fox songs. I love this soundtrack overall. Like my ranking for the chapters as far as soundtrack would probably be like, I think the worst is 3. Not that it has like all horrible songs, just like I just feel like a lot of songs just don't convey themselves as well as the other ones. Not that any of the songs are actually horrible, I just think that it's just the weakest overall. That doesn't necessarily mean like bad though. And then we have chapter 1, just not a lot of like super great songs, but just there are quite a few that I like. And then of course chapter 2, which has a lot of bangers, and then chapter 4, which doesn't have any songs in Toby Fox, but it does have a lot of songs that come really close to being like one of like some of the best songs. So overall, just really really cool soundtrack, and then really cool template. Thank you, Rich Connor GMN. Once again, I'll give you a second shout out just because of how high quality of a template this is overall. So yeah, just if you liked my ranking, just leave a comment. Like leave a comment, and then just discuss. We can discuss what you liked and disliked, just to get some just cool discussion in. But overall, it's really fun making these videos and just giving my thoughts on the Deltarune OST. So just pretty fun to make a tier list like this. Like you might not agree with everything, but I definitely think that at least most, if not all, of my takes are suitable for myself. There might be some that I might look back in years to come and disagree with, but I feel like for the most part, I'm happy with where I put most of these tracks. So yeah, it's fun making these videos. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna make next. I don't really have too many plans, but it's definitely fun to try something new as far as content. So yeah, well, I'll see you guys later.